Hey everybody, my name is Josh with Late Start Piano. Today's video we're going to be talking about augmented chords. So in a recent video I talked a little bit about major chords and minor chords, how you can find those. There's two other chord types as far as major categories, and those are augmented and diminished chords. So today we'll be focusing on just augmented chords. So to understand augmented chords, you first need to know what a major chord is. So to find any major chord, you pick the root note, which is the note that the chord is named after. So for example, a E major chord is E, G sharp, and B. E, G sharp, and B together. That's E major. Just like I explained in my other video, to find any major chord, you start on the root, the note name, count up 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3. So I go into a little bit more detail about that in the other video, so I won't touch on that here. But again, so once we know the major chord, E, G, B in this case, all we have to do to augment it is take the fifth, so the note at the top, and raise it 1 half step. So E, G sharp, C, that would be E augmented. And we call it augmented because it's going up, it's increasing, it's bigger, right? So we no longer have the E to B, which is a perfect fifth. We don't have that perfect fifth anymore. Now we have the E to C, which is a minor sixth. So everything else stays the same. E, G sharp, instead of B, we have C. And you can hear that if you play it, first play the major, then play the augmented chord. Then you can arpeggiate them, you can break them up so you can really hear the difference. And this formula works with any chords, just like we talked about in the other video. Any major chord, like D major, D, F sharp, A. To augment it, you would take the fifth, the note at the top, so in this case A, raise it 1 half step, so this would be A sharp. So D, F sharp, and A sharp would sound like, that's your D augmented, D major, D augmented. So augmented chords are not really used as often as major chords or even minor chords. If you know all your major and minor chords, that's going to be 90% of songs that you play. That's all the chords you'll need. Very rarely, especially in modern times, will you see augmented chords or diminished chords, but they're still good to know about. They're still good to work on your music theory as well. So with any augmented chord, you can now find it. Just take the major version of the chord, so let's take B major, and increase the fifth by 1 half step. B augmented, B major. And I'm a big proprietor of just going on the piano, not necessarily reading sheet music, but just kind of playing around, see what you can find. So now you have another tool in the toolbox. Now you know about augmented chords, you know about major chords, you know about minor chords. Next video, we'll talk about diminished chords and how you can use those.